And we're back. Welcome to part 2 of the 30th of August 2021 stream, where I'm well fed. All of my habits for the day are complete, almost all of them. I still want to take a walk later if it's not raining. But all that's really left is to keep plugging away. So I've made a little bit of a to-do list for myself, just to keep myself on track as my attention starts slipping. But those things are export the lake assets from the map you're looking at now, make some nighttime variants, and then to make some variants for the circus tent map, which is going to be the biggest task of all. And we also need to export those assets too, so put that down before I forget. Maybe we'll even start there. No, we'll start with nighttime assets since we've already got these open. So I'm just going to make a duplicate of these. Actually, let's do a quick go through what we accomplished last stream, because I've refreshed my point of view and now I can see the flaws. And I think we want this water to be a little deeper looking. Really? Is this the layer? It is. Maybe about half that much. And a little more sky blue. Yeah. That's much better. Probably. How do I feel about these daisies? I'm not completely sold on them, to be honest. Maybe the problem is they've got this fuzzy edge to them, and I can fix that if I... what's the best way to do it? Maybe I can just duplicate these a couple times. No. That's going to really bulk out the file size. What I'll do is a little bit of tricky stuff, so hold on tight. We're going to convert them into a mask. So that's what our daisies look like. There they are. Should look the same, but they're now on a mask layer, meaning I can make them bolder, like this. Although it's not doing much for the light. What I should actually do is invert the selection and start deleting the fuzzy bit. Yeah. That's much more what I need. Not that. Really? How does that work? That's better. Thank you, Jordan. I appreciate it. So yeah, how do I feel about this turquoise? It's kind of off. I think we need to just drop the saturation. Does look just unfortunately drab, maybe about half that much. Just to bring it into a blue. Hmm. Okay, this one's good. I might even say this one's done, if I were to be so bold. Next up, summertime. And immediately I think our shadows are a little bit too deep down here. Something more like that. Otherwise, pretty happy with it. Maybe the sun's kind of stronger in the summer, so we could pump up the brightness of the water. Here's the running theme. I like the change, but we need about half as much as what I did. I really like this blue next to this yellow down here. It's nice. If we wanted kind of a realistic look to this map, this grass would be kind of more brown, less saturated. Kind of like straw rather than completely yellow. Hmm. Yeah, it's might seem like a step back, but I think, well, I think the same theme as before. We go about half as much as what we did. So that much. Just to give it that sun-bleached look. Hmm. Thanks, Daniel. I'm happy with it too so far. I also wonder if we want a little bit more yellow in our trees, a little bit more olive. Right about there. Maybe more. I want them to look like the same species of trees as here, so we don't want to go too far. Hmm. What's going on up here? Oh, nothing. And our water needs to be a bit darker, actually. Yeah. And these shadows, maybe not so pink, but a little more red. Hmm. Okay, it's looking a little bit flat. Don't we have a vignette or something? We do, but it's just very toned down. It's also blue, so if we just change that to a warm color, that might help. Yeah, I'm feeling the Australian summer vibes here, that's for sure. Yeah, I quite like this. A little bit more saturation in the bushes. Since they're not really a color right now, they're just kind of muted. Makes sense for these bushes to turn brown. I guess it does, yeah. They're like hibernating or something. Okay, this one's pretty good, although I'm not really selling the ice. I think we want to pump this up, ice. Seems pretty icy to me. Maybe if we kind of increase the range here. So we've got this. See, now this is starting to look transparent ice. Even if we darken this. Kind of stumbled into it, but yeah, this is really selling the ice look. These wood colors are definitely not right. It's strange because I thought I set that before. I do Dungeon Master Jordan. Not as often as I'd like, but fighting to win some time back so that I can do some prep and run games again for my group. But I do play regularly. My buddy Jeff is very generous and Dungeon Masters for us basically whenever we ask him to. Bloody legend. I'm really liking this winter color scheme. Especially the ice. That was a great success. I want to step back actually and wonder if we can do a similar effect here. Yeah, I think we use this in all of them. We're just getting a lot more volume. Hold up. There's a brilliant blue sky above. Happy to make them available, Jordan. Glad they're helping too. Kind of my goal with the maps is to give you time to prepare other things for your session. If I can cover the maps, gives you more time to work on NPCs or encounter design or what have you. Okay, that feels right. Really enjoying this color scheme actually. And it is a good little throwback to the Shingle Shore battle map. Good, good, good. Sometimes it helps if it's not pure white back here in the ice. We do have pure white. Should use it rather sparingly. Okay, finally, this one. Even my attempt at a muted brown color scheme is still very vibrant, isn't it? What was I thinking? So I'm imagining a cloudy sky above, so really it would be rather gray. I quite like the kind of green hue, even if it doesn't make complete sense. Yeah. All right, I'm calling these ones done. We're going to make some nighttime versions now. Should I? Or should I fuss over this one a little bit longer? This is supposed to be the base map, so it should be the best one, ideally. Actually, should I make this the base one or should I make the summer one the base one? Now that I'm looking at this one, I see yet more changes I'd like to make. Well, I'll see when they're all exported. Whichever one is my favorite, I'll make that the one you can get for free. So I'm gonna duplicate all of these in the background and we'll make some nighttime versions. This is kind of what I want to emulate, is the Timber Brook nighttime. Let me open that up actually. Yeah, because I can use these. Let's see how we go. Good starting point. Keep this around. I want to give the sense that there's a big moon in the sky when we look at the water. Suppose these fireflies would be flying about over the marshes or maybe the forest. I just like the idea of them being over the marshes like a bunch of will-o-wisps or something. Do fireflies hang out over water or what? I don't know my fireflies. I mean, they definitely hang out over the field, wouldn't they? Let me look up some fireflies on the internet. What kind of terrain do fireflies hang out over? Lots of uh, forest photos. Yeah, lots of okay, not a lot. Other photos where they're hanging about over rivers. I guess just about anywhere in the scene that we've got here is fair game. So artistically speaking, what's the most interesting? I kind of think this little meadow down here. But there's also something nice about the idea of like a light show over the water. That's probably the way to go. Even thinking from an encounter design standpoint, you got your players camping here, they're watching the beautiful fireflies. Gives you a good reason to have some gnolls or something sneak up on them this direction. Go with that. Might even tinge the water with their glow. No, that's a little much. Aha. This layer here is sabotaging us. Hey, Noah. I'm doing well, thanks. Kind of burning the candle at both ends, if I understand that metaphor right. But the end is in sight, and the art is coming together. So that's good in my books. Right now, we're just figuring out kind of a general purpose nighttime filter for these battle maps. Trying to balance it with this one, which is pretty well doing. I hope I'm not the one keeping you up, Vicky. But thanks for stopping by nonetheless. Maybe I should use this to an extent. No, this will do. This will do. This seems like the right color for a moon to me. Just try. See what happens if I play around with this. Now it's starting to look like dawn's coming. Yeah, this is daylight you're seeing here. It's only 20 past 5 in the PM where I live. Okay, that's kind of nice. It's kind of boosting the blues as well. Sorry to blind you all. Okay, at some point I just got to say it's good enough. Yeah, looks right. In comparison. Start, there'll be opportunities to adjust it later, so I'm happy with that. Although, there's always an although. Maybe I can... Always fun stuff I can do like this. Not like that. Although that's kind of interesting in its own way. No, I think it's fine. I think it's good. Maybe a little bit more general glow in the water. That feels right. Okay. What's next? Winter. Now, unless I'm mistaken, fireflies don't hang around in the winter. So we don't need to bring those over. This gets us most of the way there. This feels like the perfect amount of moon glow on the snow, perfect amount of ambient light. There's one of those scenes where I'm definitely not an expert. Haven't seen a lot of snow in my life, but it feels right. And just a little bit more glow in the water. And I'll be pretty happy with that. Thanks. Yeah, it looks good to me. Let me just compare it with my Timberbrook version. I actually prefer it over this version. Timberbrook here looks a bit grey, desaturated. There's a lot more blue, nighttime blue in the lake version. That reminds me, if you can think of any good names for this map, let me know. More reflective in the snow or the ice in particular? Yeah, you're right. That feels even more correct. It feels cold and it feels dark. Okay, we can boost the brightness a little bit more when I get to Lightroom later. Be happy with that. Let me do summertime next. We'll bring some fireflies over here. Yeah, this is my headcanon. All the fireflies sleep in the reeds. They wake up, they fly over into the field, and we can kind of see that happening. In little party clusters. Okay, let's do a bit of work on the nighttime effect though. Hey, Chiaki. Yeah, I do want to make more exotic locations. The will is there. If you're after a underwater shipwreck in particular, you can find one of those on the website. A map variant by Rudy, who and the map variant looks amazing. Okay. More blue, please. Yeah, in particular, you'll be looking for the Sailing Chef pack. The base pack is just a sailing ship, but inside the expanded pack, there's a sunken version. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, we're getting there, aren't we? Want to replace a lot of these warm shadows with cool shadows. Maybe just boost the blue in general. Got to be careful about it, but I can dive into these layers and change like grass color. Push it more into the gray. Kind of. Yeah, that does work. My favorite step in creating a map is definitely line art. In particular, once the line art's done and I import it and I stack the 3 layers on top of each other, and for the first time I get to see all the line art and the watercolor working together. That's always a point in the process where I feel invigorated and I just want to complete the map there and then. I think for me, the most natural part of the process where my skills lie and what I enjoy the most is just drawing the line art. Me and my pen and paper and a good draft to work with. Yeah, I want to make these two look more contiguous. So we need to boost the water. Yeah, nice. Yeah, this muted variant in particular, this is the map that's supposed to be a little more realistic in color scheme. So for the nighttime, we want to push it fairly dark, I think. Oh, that's an interesting look. Yeah, that's a pretty good start. Although very similar, perhaps. No, not even. But like I said, this is our opportunity for a truly dark, spooky night. Let's try and do a night where the moon is behind the clouds. Uh, a dangerous night. These night times, this is a little bit too light now that I look at it. Needs to be much more blue. Looking like dawn. This one's also looking like dawn, but I kind of like it. I think we even get rid of the fireflies. This map's supposed to be the I'm in danger kind of map. The rest are like pleasant little campsites that you might holiday at, but this one's we're traveling through uncharted territory. Inexplicably, there's a road, but yeah, there's danger at every turn. Kind of feel. I think with the way we do that is we have a very visible focal point. And then we kind of push the vignette up a tad. And maybe take this away altogether. It's at night time when there's no lights in the sky. Water's kind of very dark, isn't it? Inky. Mhm. Yeah, I don't want to go quite that spectacular. No, it is a cool idea though. Although I don't think in the nighttime red would kind of show up. It would be more like if there were a great deal of blood coming downstream, it would be black. I don't know if you can see it, but on my monitor there's a band across here. I wonder if that would survive into the export. This is about as dark as we'd want to push it because you still want all of the battle map to be traversable, visible down here. Hmm. Quite like this. Just want to do some more tweaking with the water, which is too blue. Wonder even. Yeah, I rather like that. Please don't try and print this one out because it's going to come out as a big splodge, probably. Yeah, you can see clearly much darker. In fact, it's kind of inspired me to darken some of these shadows, perhaps. Maybe we lean into the dawn kind of look. Add some like morning mist rolling in. Oh, I'm so sorry that for those of you watching in a dark room, that was probably quite painful. A morning fog over the lake. I think it's an improvement. It creates a nice gradient from bottom to top, where we've got a dark lower area and a light upper area. Upper area. A difficult sentence. Okay. Let's see. How many other ones should I take this to? I think we could have the same kind of glow here. Thank you so much, Matt. That means a lot. That spooky tree, the cursed oak, that'll be a good candidate for a remaster, I think. I think that's good. Some summertime mist. How much sense does that make? Guess it depends altogether on the climate. If we put this in here, we want to boost the darkness elsewhere. Just occurred to me this is taking much too long. I need to speed up the pace if I'm going to get this done this month. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Even here, I think we can have our... well, let's see. Let's just test it out. Because this kind of glow, it's kind of a hopeful thing. And this variant isn't supposed to be hopeful. Yeah, I think we nix the mist. I think that's good. Let's save these and enjoy looking at the thumbnails for a second. What's next on my to-do list? Exporting some assets. I think Circus tent variants is going to have to be a tomorrow kind of job. As much as that's going to kill me. I also wonder... No, it's fine. I've got to call it done at some point. I also enjoy this stage where we get to look at the thumbnails. And I'm liking the variation here. Even amongst all of our nighttime maps, they're very distinct. I think I prefer the grass in the base map compared to the grass here. I also wonder if in the muted one we should have the golden reeds. Okay, let's just fix up this grass. It's a little bit muted. Mm-hmm. Heading in the right direction. Greens are difficult to work with. Yeah, I think that's probably good. We'll see what the thumbnail view looks like. Yeah, that's good. All right, what did I say next? Exporting some assets. So we can start here, or we can start here. In fact, let's open up the one that I just closed because I want to duplicate this. So for assets, we want to get rid of the vignette. We want to tame this adjustment layer, make it flat basically. And then we should just be able to disable the background. Export these. Chris, those variants, they go into the Patreon rewards. So if you're a Patreon supporter, it's basically like this. If you support at $1 on Patreon, you get the base maps plus a few extra bonuses. $2 and you get a bunch of assets, which I'm about to rip out. So I'm going to rip out a bunch of bushes and rocks and reeds. If you enjoy making your own maps, those are useful. And then at the at the $5 tier, you get all of those variants. Or if you don't like subscriptions, you can purchase those $5 variants separately for the same price, minus a few Patreon specific rewards on my website. You just have to go to the patron pack section to find them. What was I doing here? Exporting assets. So you're going to become our assets file. Save that. Just make a quick. This will help us see what we're working with. Like that. So we want to export all these little bits minus a bunch of useless stuff like far too many rocks, far too many standalone rocks, but we've got some reeds and stuff. But this watercolor section needs to go here. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, cool. What do I do about these annoying rocks? I think we just work around them mostly. Make some last minute color corrections. Do we want green bushes in the asset pack? We have a bunch of red bushes already from last month's Timber Brook map, so I think green bushes are more useful. It's an interesting look. It's kind of interesting to turn off the line art and look at it like this. Got its own charm. Okay, assets, check. Right, I think I just need to build a macro and get started. Bear with me while I resize some of my windows. Come on, work with me, Windows. All right, and now we'll switch over to this camera. And I just realized my webcam is basically useless. We'll just try and make the stream a little prettier. Okay. Here we are. This is the asset extraction window setup. I think we're done. I think I'm going to keep these actually in a Circus assets action group, just in case I need to export some of those again. That's what this archive is for. Well, can I not put folders in folders? Well, in that case, I'm just going to delete you. And here we'll make a brand new macro for exporting stuff. So, here's a question. No, never mind. All right, so selection. Export make asset. Well, let's start again. Okay. What we want to do first actually is disable the background. Gonna get a little bright in here, sorry about that. Disable background, crop to this overall mask, trim, asset, save as 300 DPI asset. That should appear here. Then we back it up. Select the inner mask. Delete it. Deselect. Bring back our background. And then reset the view. That should bring us back to here. Hey Cleo, welcome back. Try not to get too technical with these. Yeah, we're back to using actions. These ones much simpler. Wondering how many of these we want. Yeah, so for the uninitiated, right now we are exporting some Patreon rewards. The PNG files you see appearing in the top left will be map assets for the $2 tier. And with those you can supplement battle maps with, if you want to add a little campsite, you'll be able to do that. Or you can build a whole new battle map if you want. Let's see if our macro works. Does not. What's the matter here? Ah, missing a step. And that's the select master layer group. Right, it should work now. Oh, maybe I should have exported these in 2 pieces. Yeah, we want to do that. It's kind of intimidating. Look at all these pieces. Let's get some ridges. Or maybe I should start with the big pieces and work our way down. What do I usually call these frames? Map edge? I think I'll call it forest edge because it kind of has double meaning. It's edge of the map asset, and it happens to also be the edge of a forest. Gonna take a while to export, I think, because it's big. While that's happening, I'm just closing my blinds. It's dark outside. Oof, I feel like an old man today. I've spent far too long sitting down. This is Forest Edge 1. I'll go from left to right. But I don't think we want this particular bit. Let's try and remove that. Kind of complex. We'll get the roots in there. Come around. Just trim this off. And then we can come the rest of the way around. Realize we probably don't want these rocks either. But the stick's fine. Stick is a very forest thing. Okay, I'm just going to chop this off crudely to begin with, and then we'll come back to it later. We'll include these bushes too. Yeah. Okay. This is frustrating because when this is writing, I can't do anything else with Photoshop. Sometimes there's something I can do multitasking wise, but not right now. Let me just make sure I haven't missed anything. This should work on a light and dark background. It works now. Yeah, this is what I'm concerned about is having this secondary line art be too bright. But in this case, we're not actually going to ever use this on a completely black background. Really, we want to test for green. Darn. Yeah, so these two I want to do again. The issue being this secondary line art is in a multiply layer type, but that doesn't transfer into PNG format. Doesn't transfer. So we just have to find some normal layer type color instead. And then it's kind of what you see, what you get. So I think that's fine. What did we have before? Yeah, it's pretty much the same. Okay, I can export this, right? Looks good to me. A very large PNG file. And we're crunching it down as small as it can go. So it takes some time. 2 megabytes, that's pretty good. So forest edge 1. Number 2, please. These should be the largest things we export, so it'll get more interesting after this. And this one's easy. All right. I think I'll export a collection of ridges. We'll call these. Or ledges is a better word, probably. Now to get this one down to reasonable size, I'm just gonna delete this little bush. Sorry, bush. That'll allow us to grab this side and this side separately. Maybe I get rid of this awkward piece too. I think I'll include some of these little stones because I think they'll be an interesting addition, not an annoying one. All this foliage makes me want to do another jungle map. I suppose this is a ledge as well. Then we'll get into these ones. Five. Nah. Six. Hey Starch, welcome back. And this one, I think we'll carve this area out so we can split it up. Also these ghost rocks. Okay, this one seems kind of inseparable from the greater body of these reeds. I think, actually, I think I have a strategy for that. Yeah, let me get these green bushes finished first. What should I call them? Maybe I'll call them green bushes. Actually, these are just bushes. Can you be split up? Even I can split them up. I should. Except for these ones, where if I were to split them up, this one would be a little too small to be useful. Yeah, we'll get to these. We'll get to what I was talking about, but I think these will also be useful. Call them rock clusters, perhaps. Just the sizable clusters. The general round shape to it if we can. Rock clusters? Little clouds of decorative rocks. In theory, you could layer these and layer these and layer these until you have this kind of texture where it's just rocks. Okay. Let's try and zoom in here and deal with these. So I'm gonna make a duplicate, and in this we're gonna extract the rocks. I meant the opposite of what I said. We're going to extract the reeds. Lovely. Suppose we'll have some reed edges. I don't think a reed corner is particularly useful. But these two will be. You have a whole jungle wetland asset pack. If you want lots of reeds, there's reed assets in there too. Reeds. Edge. 1 of 2. We'll just grab this big chunk. Cool. And how many pieces can we chop this up into? Or rather, how many pieces would be useful? You can see there's going to be one big chunk. I think we extract that and then we leave the rest of the pieces as individual assets. So let's search that out. Hmm. Well, thank you, Sebastian. Yeah, I'm happy to be streaming because I can never make time for making videos, but if I just stream what I'm already doing, then, there's no real cost to it. Nice. I think this will split up into 3. Although if you're just generally making battle maps, this part probably won't be particularly useful to you. Making assets. Reads 2. Don't let me forget to export that rocky edge. You haven't got any primary line art on you. Okay, reads. Then here we want to do the opposite of what I did. Just want these rocks. Although these grassy areas amidst the rocks, we want those. And this is also an awkward edge. So I need to be more thoughtful how we extract this. I can see a way in, I think. And all we need is this lump here. Carve out some space to work with. Yeah, Sebastian, this is my full-time gig. Thanks to all the support we get on Patreon and people leaving tips on the website, I can afford to do this full-time. And in fact, it also pays for some fabulous token art these days as well. So, yeah, it's a real golden age for map making at 2-minute tabletop. I think cut in here. Maybe this whole rock needs to go. Better yet. How about that? And it'll be ledge number 9. So we'll have about 36 map assets in the asset pack for this. Pretty good, I think. Nice, generic, natural assets. Do I see anything I'm missing? Hmm. It looks interesting with the trees removed, doesn't it? All right. Pretty happy with that. So I can tick that off my list. We've got lake variants finished. We've got lake assets finished. That means besides the maybe 2 hours it takes to package up a battle map and make the preview images, the lake is finished. I say that with a question mark because I feel like I'm forgetting something. In any case, I've got about 30 minutes left, so let's just jump into the circus tent. So we're in the base map right now. Before, I don't have time to get all the variants done, so rather than that, I'm just going to get assets done instead. We'll make a brand new cleaned up version. Why are these like that? I don't even know what this chain does. I think if I were to move multiple layers, it means that one won't move. Anyway, we'll get rid of the unnecessary layers for the asset thingy. It's kind of an interesting color. Spotlight asset needs to go elsewhere. Oh, right there is fine. So if I turn that off, where is this shade coming from? There. Struggling with hatching. Struggling in any specific way? Is it just that you draw a bunch of hatching and lean back and it doesn't look quite right? I think with hatching, it's kind of a bit of experimentation with spacing and like line weight. Here's an example of some hatching. With this hatching, I was very deliberately keeping it all in one diagonal direction, but offsetting each clump by a couple of degrees to get the randomness. But yeah, I guess hatching comes down to a few different ingredients. There's the length of the individual strokes, which is always roughly the same. I was kind of very loose with this particular hatching, but think of it the same and just allow for a bit of error and you'll get some variance. So it comes down to stroke length, distance between strokes, which I think tighter is usually better. And then just think of it like doing little clumps of strokes together of like 3 to 5, maybe 3 to like 6 strokes per clump. And then those clumps, you don't want any clumps that are adjacent to be facing in the exact same direction. So you just offset them a little bit, or if you're doing a different hatching technique, do I have one of those? Just make sure that they're in completely different directions. I don't particularly like this one, but yeah, you can see the same clumps method going on here. There's groups of 3, groups of 5, etc. And then I also filled in some of the gaps with smaller hatches. Yeah, hatching, I don't think I'm a master at hatching by any means, but those are my methods for it. I want this to be confined to here, except I'm exporting assets, so I don't need this. And in fact, I want to color balance these assets to be exterior. So this is more useful. You don't need any dirt. We don't need the glow. And then this needs to be an exterior friendly color. And we don't need that. Also, how do I want to divide this up? I think we cut a line through there. This whole interior is going to be its own asset or its own map. So if you want to use like this as a fighting ring or something, you'll be able to do that. But in this particular stage, I'm just ripping it apart. Do I want these to be white? I don't think so. In fact, just brown is fine. Oh, except we do want these to be lit based on this lighting, because these are going to be part of the base pack specifically for the interior. So I think I can probably get away with just doing that. And then when we get down here, we'll just disable those again. Okay. I should save this as something else first. I don't want to save over the base map. I think we can even use the exact same macro. I'll just change the save location. I did not know I could double click that to hide it. That's cool. That's useful. Oh, did we crash Photoshop? Totally did. Unresponsive. Darn, I thought we'd fix that bug. Well, it's a good thing we just saved. Okay. I'll be right back. I just got to restart Photoshop. That's annoying. All right, so don't switch to a different tab while I have a square marquee tool selected. Yep, it's that marquee tool, I'm telling you. Every time. This one, please. I just realized we have two chats on screen. That's better. Okay. Oh, wrong one. I have to make a mental note to include these in the base. Actually, what am I talking about? These are going in the Circus assets pack. Yeah, well, I still have to remember that. Also the spotlight. So what was I doing before the crash? I just changed this to save in Circus 10 assets, so that's good. We kept our progress there. Now I should be able to select dangerously with the square marquee tool. Ah, I haven't set up my layers. Mm. Like that. Although it doesn't seem to have trimmed very well, or at all. Why haven't you trimmed? Because we have like a very slight glow coming all the way out, like the edge of the sun. It's possible. Okay, well, I think for this one, we'll just manually make our selection. Look pitch black. It's not, but it's close enough. We're not going to see the hard edge there. In fact, I'll test it. Um, yeah, it's fine. I can very faintly perceive the edge there, but it's an acceptable amount. Check. So we're going to have dark, lit, and exterior, I think. Before I do that, let's rotate them this way. Hopefully it's going to trim this time. It didn't. Ah, and also we need to adjust that secondary line art. Okay, okay. Oh, that's not secondary line art, that's watercolor. I'm gonna obliterate all secondary line art outside of our assets. Cool. See, the tent's gonna be an easy export. That's much better. These are trapeze. Use platform. Ah, that sucks, Leo. Sorry it crashed so much for you. Definitely crashing less for me, but it's not altogether fixed. All right, now we are done with these layers, in theory. Maybe I did lose some progress when we had our crash. What color did these need to be? Let's bring in some Circus map assets. Kind of a control. Which one? The stage? Not that one though. No. Yeah, that looks right. I think I'll export this as a big piece so that you can just plonk this down as a little arena anywhere you need. And then we'll also split it up into little stadium grandstands. Yeah, that's the word. Okay. We actually already have plenty of poles in the Circus map assets in this exterior coloration, so we don't need those. Oh, thank you, C. You're awesome too. I wouldn't be making so many maps and assets if I didn't know that people such as yourself were enjoying them, so thank you. Look at me painting with my mouse while my pen and tablet are right in front of me. What are we doing for time? 5 to 7 in the PM here. I think I may call it soon. I might also export the last few assets here off stream after dinner and my walk, etc. Gonna be a very dark walk today. Oops. Hmm. I'm just reflexively saving before I use the marquee tool. Cleo. I actually used to use a display tablet, but I took a step back to this sort of tablet because I have a very sensitive neck. And for me, the ergonomics of my workspace is everything. So with the display tablet, it was very difficult for me to get that in the right place for me to work without craning my neck. But with this one, I don't have to think about it really. I mean, my hand isn't very far from where I use my mouse, so it's all set up. And my monitor never changes position. So, and it's also portable for me. Usually I do a fair bit of traveling, and it's nice to have a portable kind of setup. Do we just crack on? I think I might. But who knows? I might go back to a display tablet in the future. I mean, I have a proper desk to work with, and I can set up all sorts of stands and things. Yeah, I'm gonna investigate again. Okay, we definitely want to export this whole piece and call it arena. Yeah, I mean, I've heard Circus Arena, so it is an arena. Good luck to your computer. The big N. Do you think it would help me a great deal? Because honestly, the digital tablet work I do is very simple coloring. When you're doing proper digital art with like pressure sensitivity and all sorts, um, it's the tablet is a big deal. But for me, I'm pretty much just coloring within the lines. Very simple stuff. We've brought back the lines we don't want. Okay. Doesn't hurt to export both of these, even though they're basically the same. Every time I sit here and wait for my asset to export, I start thinking about dinner. I'll appreciate dinner all the more if I know that this is done. Looks like a rifle magazine or something from here. I'm a bit disturbed that that's where my brain goes. All right, this ring here we want. Do we want the gate too? Nah, because you can adapt that into like a pen or something, an animal pen. Although maybe we get this bit too. Yeah. I don't really see separating this in any kind of elegant way. Unless we carve this apart. Yeah, maybe I should. We can also export this cargo. Kind of like this. Yeah, I think we get rid of that. That's useful, probably. Different sort of grandstand. I'm gonna have to leave that tent for another time. I was just doing the maths in my head. And got to call it a day. So we'll export this guy. While that's happening, I'll say my farewells. So it's been a grand old work session, two in fact, today. Happy with all the maps and assets we've produced. Tomorrow is the last day of August here in Australia. And that means we're going to make some variants for our circus tent. We're going to finish exporting these assets, obviously. And then the big old task of publishing it to Patreon. So wish me luck. Or you can tune in tomorrow and wish me luck personally, or cheer me on or something. Yeah, I'm gonna save that for later. And that's gonna do it. So big thanks to the 10 people who are still watching, and thanks to everyone who stopped by along the way. I'll be back much the same time tomorrow, I think. So yeah, enjoy your day, your evening, your night, whatever it might be, and see you next time.